Hello and a very warm welcome to my Karatbars Testimonial. My name is Brian McGinty. I've been with Karatbars International since June 2013 and I started off my business on zero. I've built my business now to over 11,000 customers and business partners in over 100 countries. The purpose of this testimonial, I guess after almost 4 years with the company, I thought telling my story might inspire you and might help you if you're just beginning on your journey with Karatbars, and give you an idea of how my business has went and how my business has grown over the years since I started. To give you a little bit of background on myself, I was born in Northern Ireland back in 1977. I grew up in Northern Ireland on the border, a town called Strabane, and we had the worst unemployment in Europe at the time. It was during the Troubles, so I had to cross the border to go to school twice a day, every day. It did teach me a lot of good lessons because there was such high unemployment, because nobody had anything. Even growing up, I remember at 10, 11, 12 years old, finding ways to make money, washing cars, helping my uncle out with things, because if you wanted a pair of nice trainers, then you had to earn the money yourself to buy them, because it was not as if parents had money to go handing out to children, that type of thing. So it was actually very difficult growing up, but it was very positive now looking back on it for the skills that we actually did learn. I got into retail as soon as I got to my 16th birthday and I could work. I started working in retail. I worked my way up into management in retail by the year 2000. One thing I didn't like about retail is it didn't matter how hard I worked, I always got paid the same commissions at the end of every, or the same, I was saying commissions, I always got paid the same wages at the end of every month. And I hated that because I always generally worked harder than everybody else there. I decided to get out of retail. A friend of mine was making very good money with an insurance company. That went down like a lead balloon with my family, that I was leaving a stable job, if you like, a good job, and I was going to work for an insurance company whenever there was no guaranteed salary and it was 100% commission. But I had enough faith in myself that I could go and do that. I had enough faith in myself that if I worked hard, that I would, for the first time, get what I thought I deserved. So I worked in insurance in 2003. I then got involved with a property company in London. Again, 100% commission, so if I didn't turn up to work, I didn't get paid, but I enjoyed that because I really liked the competition factor of it. I really liked the fact that I could earn as much as I liked, and regularly I was earning over £10,000 a month. I had a Porsche when I was 27, I had a Jaguar when I was 28, so I was able to go and do the things that growing up in Ireland seemed impossible, but I knew that if I worked hard, and in property I was doing that, I was able to earn what I thought I deserved. So that's really important in terms of Karatbars. That was my background and my grounding, if you like. Then in 2008 we had a massive shock, as everyone knows. We had the financial crisis. People stopped buying property. I was selling property in Spain and the UK, all over Europe, Mallorca and in Portugal. And I loved Portugal. I loved selling property in Portugal. So I decided that if no one was buying any property, then I was going to go and live in Portugal. So I moved over to Portugal then in 2008 permanently. Now, no one was buying any property then, of course, in 2008, 2009. So I did what any Irishman would do. I opened an Irish bar with a restaurant. I took on an 18-bay driving range. There was an 18-hole golf, 18-hole putting green there, which we rented out. And we had a golf academy. Now, I knew nothing about golf, so what I did was I got a golf pro in to run the driving range, and then we helped each other. I sent him customers, he sent me customers. So I had a really, really good business and had that for a number of years. I was doing skydiving, I was playing golf twice a week. Life was really, really good. During that time as well, I met Emma, who's now my wife. You can see her in the picture in the top right there. Emma was actually working in Africa for 7 years in Tanzania as a missionary worker. She got very sick with malaria and had to come home. Her mother subsequently died then with ovarian cancer, so she was helping her until she died in the hospice. Then she came out to Portugal, and just by pure blessing, if you like, she happened to be in the house next door to me when she was having a little bit of a break after her being so unwell and looking after her mother. She came out to Portugal for a little break, and that's how we met. She was actually staying in the house right next door to me. So everything was going really, really well up in 2012. And then on the 11th of June, this is a really important date, the 11th of June 2013, just before that we lost our business. To cut a long story short, the owner of the land we were renting on disappeared out of the country, and we left over €1 million in debt. So our business had to be closed until it was sorted out with the courts. The business is still closed, it never reopened again, the man was never found. But long story short, I was completely broke. I had no savings. I hadn't been putting away any money, which a lot of people had done, and I wasn't doing. I was getting married in 4 weeks. Me and Emma had decided to get married. Emma had become worse in terms of her illness. Her malaria had developed into ME, so she needed someone to look after her. My best friend offered me his home to go and stay in his apartment, so I moved out of my house, which I had to give up. I moved into his apartment. He became ill then. He had a heart condition, and my mother was diagnosed with dementia at the same time, so she was ill back in Ireland. Now what I needed a home business. I needed some way of making money fast. I needed some way of paying my rent, if you like, at the end of the month. I was trying different online businesses. I tried 4 different online businesses, which were pre-launches. They were supposed to be the next big thing, and one of them was in advertising, another one was in retail, but every single one of those businesses failed. And it actually took me a few months to realize that over 90% of new businesses and new startups always fail. I had to sell my car. You can see Emma there in the picture on the screen. That's Emma in front of the car we bought for €200. It was the last €200 we had, so that's how we were able to get about. So whenever I say we went to absolutely nothing, I mean in terms of income, in terms of what I had, it really did go down to zero. Now on the 12th of June something happened. A friend of mine from the UK called me up and said, Brian, have you got 45 minutes free? Of course I had, because I was desperately trying to find some work. And there was no work in Portugal at the time. There was no work for me to do, and even I couldn't go out and do a job because I needed to look after Emma. Plus I was flying back to Ireland, and an employer wouldn't put up with that because I was going back to see my mum. So he said, okay, if you've got 45 minutes free, take a look at this presentation and let me know what you think. I said to him, well, what's it about? He said, well, you're going to have to watch the video, and if you're interested, give me a call back after. If you're not, no harm done. So I watched the presentation. It was a Karatbars webinar, and it was about 45 minutes long. And that next 45 minutes, and without any exaggeration, changed my life forever. My very first thoughts when I watched the Karatbars video, considering my past in property and considering all these pre-launches and things I'd tried, this was my initial thoughts on Karatbars International. Karatbars was established 2+ years. That was very important to me because I found out that over 90% of new businesses don't last 12 months. Karatbars had already got through that stage and had been established and trading for 2 years. It wasn't a pre-launch. I didn't want anything more to do with pre-launches. Karatbars had partnerships with MasterCard and FedEx. I knew that you don't just walk in and get a deal with FedEx and deliveries with FedEx unless you're a reputable company and you're delivering real products. That was important. I could see the offices in the video, so I knew it was real bricks and mortar offices I could walk into. I could see the owner. I could see what he looked like. Unlike a lot of these online businesses, I couldn't see who the owners were, couldn't really tell. They were a bit shady, not very transparent. So Karatbars was very transparent from the first day. There were no fees, no subscriptions, no forced purchases. That means I could start in the business and any commissions I earned were coming in. It wasn't like an MLM type business where I had a monthly fee going out or a weekly fee going out. And on top of that, I realized quite quickly if there are no fees, then if I build my business, I've got no cancellations either. So that was really important. I had built an MLM business before and people were cancelling and dropping off and never coming back to the business. So it was like having a bucket with a hole. You were always filling up the bucket, but the water was always running out. I knew that wasn't going to happen with Karatbars. The product was gold. Now, the thing that went off, the light bulb, if you like, that went off in my head was that there's no such thing as 25 karat gold. We're selling 24 karat 999.9 gold. There's never going to be the 25 karat gold company. No customer of mine is going to ring me up and tell me another company are doing better gold than Karatbars. And for me, that was really important because I had been in direct sales companies before. When a new product came out and you lost all your customers, that wasn't going to happen. And as well as that, it was gold. It was simple and it was honest and it was something I could say to my family that I was doing. I had been involved with an advertising business online. I couldn't explain it to people. I wasn't proud of it. I wasn't proud of telling my family and friends that I was doing it. This was something I could be proud of. It was open. Karatbars was open in 57 countries. That meant that because I knew people in property in Spain and Portugal and other countries in the UK and Ireland, I could ring people up in different countries. I wasn't restricted to the country I was in. It was a very simple system. All I had to do was ask people to watch a video. I was asked to watch a video. I understood it. All I had to do was ask other people to watch a video. So that was really, really simple. And there was no cost for me to do that either. There's no cost in having a conversation with someone asking them to watch a video. It was flexible. I needed that obviously because I was in Portugal. My mum was ill in Ireland. Emma's health wasn't good. I needed to travel to Ireland for my wedding, so I needed a business that I could take with me, and Karatbars ticked all those boxes as well. Now this is the most important one. This was the most important one for me on the 12th of June when I joined the company. I was going to get paid weekly. If I did a sale today, then I could eat and pay my rent next Friday, because I was going to get paid every single week. And because I literally had no money, that was really, really important to me at that time. So what happened next? Well, I spoke to my upline, because the guy who sponsored me already had decided not to do Karatbars anymore, which happens. I asked him, what should I do to build the business? Kevin said, ask 3 people a day to watch your presentation, Brian. So I got out there, I asked 3 people to watch my presentation. Guess what happened? Nobody watched it. So I called Kevin. What am I doing wrong? He said, you're not doing anything wrong. You just need to ask more than 3 people. It's not about asking 3 people a day to watch the presentation. It's making sure 3 people a day watch the presentation. So I increased it to 5 people a day, 10 people a day, 20 people a day, as many people as I needed in order to get those people watching the presentation. And I got better and better and better at getting the registrations. So I was getting the registrations and I wasn't getting any sales, so I called Kevin again. Kevin said, keep going, Brian. Not everybody who registers is a sale either. So I was learning these things as I go along. Asking someone to watch the presentation isn't a guarantee that they will. Someone registering isn't a guarantee that someone's going to buy something. So these were all skills that I was learning. I was always calling up Kevin. Kevin was always telling me, keep going, keep going, keep going. It was actually 3 weeks before I had my first registration and my first sale. And then, of course, I had to go off and get married to lovely Emma on the 11th of July. So that's what happened next. So Karatbars was great for me then, because I was going to get married. This was previously planned, obviously. So I was able to go and get married, and I was able to come back and pick up my business exactly where I left off. Now, because of my terrible situation I was in, I had no plan B, and that turned out to be a cloud with a very, very silver or a gold lining, if you like. I couldn't leave the apartment because I was looking after Emma, so I had to build my business online. I had no money for calls, to make calls, so I had to use Skype, which was free, so I found a way to do that. The website wasn't in Portuguese. I didn't speak Portuguese, even though I was living in Portugal. So I found ways of speaking to people in America and in England, anybody who spoke English, countries where people spoke English. One of my first registrations was a guy I spoke to in Australia. So I was always trying to find ways around all these problems that I had. I had people who were starting and giving up, and I learned very quickly that that just happens. In December 2013, after building the business for 3 months, I made €80 for a whole month, because I hadn't counted, I didn't know about the fact that everyone was going to be off for Christmas and people were going to be working. So again, I had to get through that. I also had all my possessions from my house in a garage. There was a flood, and I lost all my possessions in the flood as well. Now, something did happen during that month, November, December, I can't remember when, but I left the apartment. I didn't have any petrol to put money in the car. I had to go to the local supermarket, and I went to the local supermarket. I never forget it, with €5.05 coins in my hand to buy some chicken and buy some rice. And that's all I had in the entire world. I had no friends to call on, really. I had no more friends to call on. I couldn't call my mum because she wasn't well. I didn't want to be annoying my dad because he was looking after my mum, etc., etc. So we really were down to nothing. It was €5.05 coins. And I remember walking back from the supermarket saying, I'm never, ever, ever going to be in that situation ever again. Ever, ever again. I'll never forget that. I knew also I had 8 months, and Emily was coming. You can see the picture of the scan there on the top of the screen. Emily was coming, and Emma, luckily, we were blessed with Emma getting pregnant during the honeymoon, which was great. But that meant there was a baby coming in 8 months, and there was no way that baby was going to take any longer. So that was my time frame as well. So I had a very limited time frame. I had to build my business, and again, I had no plan B, and that was really the savior for me building my business. Now, in 2014, 2015, my best friend, whose apartment I was living in, died from his heart condition. He was only 55. My mum died from dementia as well. So we decided to, because we had no mums or granddads, the 2 granddads were on their own, we decided to move back to Ireland. Emma's dad let us use the apartment that he had, so we didn't have to pay any rent. So that gave me some space as well. And then Emily and Brian, they were both born in 2014, 2015. So we wanted to have 3 children close together so we could concentrate on going back and looking at getting Emma healthy as well. Now, during that time, I learned a lot of new skills. I started writing a blog just to teach myself more about gold and to teach other people in my group. I started writing a newsletter every week to keep my team informed, my customers and business partners. I realised quickly that this newsletter was so important because people who maybe had registered with Karatbars 6 months earlier, it wasn't right for them then, but it is now. So I was always keeping in touch with people. People I'd registered in 2013 were now starting to get involved in the business as we brought out more products. And I started making videos on YouTube, just little tutorials to help people, and I now have over 240 videos on YouTube as well. But I kept asking 3 people a day, every day, to watch my video until my business was up and running. The important thing about this is life is going to get in the way. Things are going to happen. Things are going to derail you from your business. You just have to be mentally strong enough to keep going. You need to keep it in your mind what the reason why you're doing this is. The reason I've always been doing this is to get Emma well, to make sure that myself was never in that €5 day situation ever again, and that I can look after my children as well. Now, I did try lots of ways to build my business. As Thomas Edison said, I haven't failed, I've just found 10,000 things that didn't work. Well, believe you me, I think I found 10,000 ways not to build Karatbars since 2013. What I did know, and the thing that was constant in my life, is that Karatbars were delivering on time, Karatbars were paying commissions on time, and that the customers who were delivering the products were happy. And in any direct sales company, if you're getting those things, the company's delivering the product, they're paying you on time, and your customers are happy. Those are the 3 key things to any business being successful. So all I had to do was keep going, keep trying to find more ways of telling people about Karatbars International. Now, in October 2014, something very important happened. I was on a trip to Basel in Switzerland. The person I was with offered to drive me over to Germany. So I went to Germany, I went to head office, and I sat with Harold Seitz. That really cemented everything I was doing. I sat with Harold for 45 minutes. I never forget it. He spent, out of the 45 minutes that we spent talking, I think he spent about 40 of those minutes talking about Emma, talking about how we can help Emma get better, looking for things on the internet and ways that things that he knew about that might help Emma's condition, help her ME. So I knew really then about the man really. His heart had he had a good heart. He was more interested in my wife and getting my wife better than talking about sales figures and that as well. My confidence level from the day I left that office completely went through the roof then. I came back to my office, I told Emma that we're with the right company, we're definitely with the right people, and I started to put everything into my business. Now, the keys to my success, I would say, are focus. There's a myth going around, has been going around since I started working online years ago, that multiple income streams are the way to build your online business. Let me tell you for definite, there's no successful network marketing leader out there who has built multiple network marketing businesses at the same time. It's true that most millionaires have multiple streams of income, but they didn't build their first. They focused on their first business. They built one business only. I tried to do Karatbars and other businesses. It doesn't work. The one thing that affected my business more than anything was the fact that I decided to focus on Karatbars and Karatbars only. You cannot have 2 hats on. You can't be a jack of all trades and master of none. In network marketing, you need to focus on one business. You need to be consistent with one business. You need to build momentum in that one business, and it's difficult enough to do in one. It's impossible to do in 2. And you need to give that business the amount of time that it deserves as well. You can't build a business in a week. You can't build a business in 2 weeks. It may take you 3 weeks. It may take you 3 months. It may take you 3 years. I could have built my business a lot faster if I was working offline, but my personal circumstances dictated that I had to build my business completely online. But it doesn't matter if you're building online or offline, you need to give the business the time that it deserves, and you need to focus on one business only. Millionaires may have made their millions in property and then put money into other businesses then after. So yes, it's true, most millionaires have multiple streams of income. I can take my cash from Karatbars and I could put that money into another business, another rental stream, like I could buy some property, I could buy some wine, I could buy some cars, so I will have other income streams. But I will never start another network marketing business alongside my Karatbars business, because I know that people are looking to you for leadership. They're looking for you to be consistent. They want to know that you're going to be focused on them and helping them build their business. So focus is very much key. Time and focus, if you do those 2 things, you'll build yourself a reputation. My business started to grow by itself because I was putting my tutorials on YouTube. People started to watch them. People started getting in contact with me. I then had enough people contacting me wanting to join my team that I stopped active recruiting. So I didn't have to ask 3 people a day to watch the video. I haven't actually gone and asked someone to watch the video now personally for about 2 years. So I stopped active recruiting. So the faster you get your business growing, the faster you build your reputation and your focus in the business, the sooner you can stop recruiting. I then turned to what I enjoy doing, which is support and training. I love training salespeople. I love supporting people that are already in the business and making their job easy. I suppose the good thing for my team is that because Emma is ill, because Emma's at home all the time, because I'm her carer, then I can be available basically 24/7 for my group, no matter where they are in the world. So you can use your own situation to a positive. Now in 2016, we moved into our first house together, our first family home. I bought myself my first another Jaguar. I had one before, I wanted one again. So I got myself my Jaguar again. I managed to get out and do 2 live training events in England. I did one in Southampton, I did one in London. So I was able to go and meet some of my team and do live training, which I enjoy doing. I'm able to start getting back out into the world now again. Karatbars paid for myself and Emma to go to Los Angeles for 9 days. We stayed in Beverly Hills. We stayed just off Rodeo Drive. It was all paid for by Karatbars and just for doing my work. And we've been able to start taking family holidays now as well. We went to Mallorca last year and we also went to Greece. So again, that effort and that work that I put in 2013 and 2014, 15, I'm now seeing the rewards from that because my business is growing and I've got the income to do the things that I want to do. Now in 2017, we've already been to the Caribbean in January. Again, Karatbars paid for that for me. They paid for my flights to Miami, for the cruise, my food, everything was all included. I think I spent something like £110 during the whole week. On the 1st of May, we're moving into our new home. Again, we've got a lovely new home now with security gates and nice gardens for the children to grow up in. We have another baby coming this year as well in July, end of July, August. So that's fantastic news. Our family's growing even further. And I've gone now for a BMW. So I decided to buy my first BMW. I've bought a 645 V8 BMW. And Karatbars allowed me to buy that just with my commissions from December. So I was able to buy that car cash with 1 commissions from December. So it shows you how far I've come from starting off with 0 and building my business up to 11,000 in less than 4 years, less than 48 months. The most important thing Karatbars has done for me, I told you what my first thought was. My first thought was eating and paying my rent. But what Karatbars has done for me that I hadn't realised at the time is that it's given me time. It gives me time with Emily and Bryony. I get to spend 2-3 hours with them every morning. And I get to spend 2 or 3 hours with them whenever they come back from the childminders in the evening. I get to spend every day with my wife. I get to go and see my dad whenever I want to. Emma gets to go and see her dad. So Karatbars has given us something I think is way, way more important than money, and that's time. Time to spend with your family and friends. And that's what money can buy you, is freedom. But the reason Karatbars is so important for this is if I decided I wanted to become a barber, and the best barber in Ireland, I'd still have to go and cut hair every Monday morning. I'd still have to cut people's hair. I'd still have to turn up. If I wanted to be a brain surgeon, again, I could make a 6-figure income as a brain surgeon, but again, I'd have to do 7 years in studying, and I'd have to turn up in the operating theatre every Monday morning. Otherwise, I don't make any money. What a residual income does for you, with building a residual monthly income and leveraging your time and building a team all around the world. Those people are buying their gold every single week. You're earning little bits of commission, €1 here, €1 there, but all those euros add up into thousands of euros at the end of every month. And you can then go and spend the time with your family. For example, tomorrow I'm flying to London for a conference in London. After the conference, I'm taking Emily and Bryony down to Peppa Pig World. It's Emily's birthday on Saturday, so we're going to Peppa Pig World, and we're going to have 2 or 3 days down there, and we're going to fly back on Tuesday. I don't have to ask my boss to do that. I don't need to worry about the money to pay for that because the money's already there, and that's what Karatbars International has done for me. Now the future. What's my future with Karatbars? We're on 11,000. I want to get to 100,000. I want to help as many people as possible and teach as many people as possible about gold ownership. I'm also going to try and help as many affiliates as possible become financially and time free. I know that there's thousands of people out there right now today in 2017 who are having the same day I was having on the 11th of June 2013. There are loads of people out there who have just lost their job, who are losing family members, who have lost their business, and they think there's no way out. Well, I know there's a way out. I started off with absolutely 0, and I've got myself where I am today in 44 months. I can teach anybody to do that too if they want to do that. And if I do number 1, I'm helping people exchange their paper currency for gold. If number two, I'm helping business partners and affiliates create their own income. That is giving me the time and also the money to do number three, which is why this all sort of started, and that is to get Emma well again. If I can have the money and the time to do that, then once the baby's born now in July, then we can put massive amounts of time and energy into getting well. You can see a picture of a golden ark there on the top. I was talking about this last week. I do see myself as building a golden ark for people. We're giving people that safety net. I was sitting on the 11th of June 2013. I had no money. I had no savings. I'm sitting here now in 2013. I've got my own gold savings. I've got my own gold, which I'm in possession of. So it doesn't matter what happens in my life. I've got enough gold now, and I've got enough savings, so that even if something happened to me, or something happened to my family, or something happened to my home, we have that safety net there. And that's what Karatbars International has done for me for the first time in my life, has given me that safety net. So I'll finish off by saying this. Karatbars International, thank you. Thank you to Harold Seitz. Thank you to the team in head office, the support team who always answer my calls. Thank you to the delivery department who deliver the products for me every single week for all my customers. Thank you to the accounts team who pay my business partners every single week on time, who pay me every single week on time. I have never had a commission wrong in all the time I've been with the company. My commissions have never been late, they've always been in time. There is no better product than gold. There is no better thing that you can sell on this earth than gold. Gold is what it is. It always will be gold. It will always be 24 karat 999.9. There is no better company to sell it with. There are loads of gold companies out there. There are loads of gold companies starting up. There is no better one that you can work with than Karatbars International. Take that from me, and take that from the 11,000 people in my group. There is no better support. There's no better training and help from me, from people like Kevin above me, and Cheryl Ann, and all the other leaders in the company. You can talk to any of them any time of the day if you need help. I can put you in touch with people in all different countries all around the world who will help you right away. We all help each other. There's no better family environment either. I would say that's what Karatbars is. Even though I've built my business completely online from my desk, I would say that I'm part of the Karatbars family. We all look out for each other. Whenever we go away on trips, everyone gets on really well together. We've all helped each other out at different stages. I've helped customers out, I've helped business partners out, and whenever things are going on in each other's lives, we've lost family members. We've had Boomer, who died last year, who was one of the leaders in the group, and everybody within the family felt that as well. So even though I'm sitting at my desk, I'm completely on my own. I've been on my own every day for 3 years. I haven't got out to tell any. I've got 3 customers in the whole of Ireland. My entire business is online. I still feel like I've got a great group of friends, I've got great comradeship, and I'm with a great family of people as well. So that's something Karatbars can give you too. You're never ever on your own. You're working for yourself, you're the CEO of your own business, but you're never ever alone if you want help. And there's no better mission in the world than us going out there and helping people change devaluing paper currency into gold in a safe, affordable way through Karatbars International. So I'll finish off by saying, get started on your business. If you need any help, get in touch with head office, get in touch with your sponsor, and there'll always be someone there to help you. And if you want to go to wherever you want to go, Karatbars is the vehicle to do that for you. Karatbars, in terms of income, it is what you decide you want it to be. You are the CEO of your Karatbars business. You determine your story. Karatbars will help you write that story, and the one constant, and I say this again, the one constant that's been in my life that I can depend on since 2013 has been Harold Seitz and has been Karatbars International. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. I hope you get something from it. I hope you decide to become a Karatbars business partner or Karatbars customer, and I hope that it gives you that safety and security for yourself and for your family in the future. Thanks very much for watching.